So it's right at it. Should I start? Okay. This next, we're going to talk about size of guitars and different instruments altogether. This first guitar is a half-size guitar. This guitar, when we talk about sizes, we talk about physical size. We want to have the right size fit the student, the customer, and the child. And we also are going to be talking about something called scale length. Scale length is the distance from the nut to the saddle. And we're going to just talk about the different scale lengths, and then we can see the difference of the guitars. On a half-size guitar, you can see that the scale length then is 20.5 inches. The bouts are smaller. It's easier to fit this beginning student. This is probably for a 5 to 8-year-old person. This next guitar is a 3/4 size. The scale length on the 3/4 size is roughly 22.5 inches. Body is a little bit larger. This would be designed for a 7 to 10-year-old. This is a folk style guitar. Now here we're getting into full scale length. This is roughly 25.5. You can see the body is a little bit larger. This next one here is a standard dreadnought guitar. This one again is 25.5. The bouts are, this one is 11 inches, which is standard, to 15.5. This next guitar is a jumbo. Usually a jumbo guitar has more bass. Again, if we look at the scale length, you're still looking at 25.5. The only difference is here, you're looking at 16 inches, 16.5. You can see that the waist is a little bit thinner on the jumbo here. This is roughly 10. And then we're getting back into 12 for the upper bout. This next guitar is a 12-string. There are 12 strings on here, and you can see that they are pairs. So we have 2 of the first strings. These are E's, B, and the rest of the strings are octaves. The 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th when we tune. This one still is roughly 25.5 for a scale, and it has a dreadnought size dimensions for the body. Here we have an acoustic bass. Acoustic bass, this one is scale is 32 inches. We're also getting into, this is called a cutaway. Makes it a little bit easier to get your hand up higher. Now this next part is getting into different designs. Here we have a classical guitar. With the classical guitar, a few structural differences. There is a peg head is cut open, and the tuners are placed in from the side instead of from the bottom. The strings are plastic, but we don't want to say plastic, we want to say nylon when we sell it. As far as the structure, everything physically is basically the same. The top has less bracing inside. So we do not put steel strings on a classical guitar. There's no truss rod in this guitar, so it cannot take the pressure. And if we look down here, here we have classical tied knots. There's no bridge pins, but there's a knot that the string is tied. This next one, I threw this up here because this is a left-handed guitar. You can see the difference. The pickguard is on the left side, and the strings are from the skinny to the fat, from the left to the right. It's reversed. This is a standard dreadnought. We put this one in here because it does have the cutaway, and this one is an electric. You can see that by the electronics on the side. This next guitar is called a dobro style. It's a resonator guitar. The sound is developed by this pie plate here. That's how it's projected. The sound is quite a bit different. Sometimes this is played, steel players like this guitar. Some bluegrass guys like it. The last one is a travel guitar. Some people call it a practice guitar. It's nice. You can throw it in the back seat of your car, or you can bring it with you camping. It doesn't take up much room. The main thing is, it still is roughly the 24.5 scale. A little bit shorter, but everything plays basically the same way. It's easy to bring with you.